next which we are going to talk about are residuary powers. Now basically what they are saying is this residuary powers are similar to concurrent list only, but they have included it in a separate topic in Constitution of India. The subjects which are not specifically allotted to the union or the state are included in residuary powers. So what they are saying, those subjects or those topics which are not there in the union list or the state list are included in residuary powers. Matters are not included in division of powers are known as residuary powers. So those subjects or those matters which are not included in division of power are included in residuary powers. The central government is given the power to legislate on these residuary subjects. So on these residuary topics, the central government takes the main decision. The financial distribution of resources done between union and state government. What is financial distribution? Money-wise distribution of things are done by the state and the central government. Both of them decide that how money has to be spent on their state and on the country. Okay. The excise and custom, export, import, income tax, all these taxes are decided by the central government. So central government decides the tax for all these things. Revenue tax, entertainment tax, educational tax are having meager financial resources are decided by the state government. So just remember that revenue tax, entertainment tax and educational tax are decided by the state government. Okay, and all these taxes are decided by the central government, and you have to explain this whole thing. Okay, please do not leave anything out. Now next is unified arrangement during crisis. Crisis are what? Let's say कि अपना state ऊपर कोके war declare करी दी दो. Let's say Pakistan comes and attacks Gujarat, or let's say China comes and attacks Gujarat, or let's say our government has failed, our government has gone down and our government is not working properly. Then there is something called as emergency which is declared. In this emergency, the president's rule is imposed, in which the president starts ruling over a particular state or a particular area. Considering the fact that there is an emergency situation because of the government failing or because of war is declared on us. Okay, this is very, very important. What are the three things in which they can declare your emergency? First, national emergency, which is declared at the time of war, external attack or armed rebellion. National emergency meaning Akka India ma there is an emergency. There is a situation of emergency at that, especially when there is war. Okay, when we had war with Pakistan, when India was at war with Pakistan, there was emergency that was declared. Okay, or external attack, or somebody from outside has attacked us, or armed rebellion. Armed rebellion એટલે people inside India only are attacking, okay, with weapons. So that is called armed rebellion. In this three situation, okay, national emergency is declared. Second, due to law and order breakdown, the state cannot function according to constitution. So constitutional emergency is declared. Let's say આપણા સ્ટેટમાં, let's say ગુજરાતમાં દંગા થાય છે, riots થાય છે, બહુ problems થાય છે, rules and regulations are not followed, constitution is not being followed. At that time, it's called as constitutional emergency and the president's rule is declared. Due to increase in prices, there is monetary value erosion. At that time, financial emergency is declared. Let's say कि the prices are increasing of things, of vegetables, of everything. At that time, it's financial emergency, and at that time also, president's rule is declared. Okay, so these are the three situations: national emergency, constitutional emergency and financial emergency. National emergency is what? War. Constitutional emergency is what? Law and order is not there, and that is why constitutional emergency is there. And third is financial emergency, when prices of all the things are rising a lot. Next is parliamentary system. India is a parliamentary system of government. That is, we have a parliament in the central government, which is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. In a parliamentary system, a parliament is the supreme authority representing people. The parliament represents the people. Why? Because parliament consists of all the ministers from all the states which are elected by the people who go to Delhi and they talk about our problem, they talk about what problems are people facing. So parliament represents the people of India. The legislature at the union is the parliament. Okay, so what they're saying, the government, or let's say the ruling thing at the Delhi government, is the parliament. The parliament is bicameral, means it has two houses. We have two houses in our parliament, upper house and the lower house. Upper house is called Rajya Sabha, while lower house is called Lok Sabha. Though the government is carried on in the name of the president at the union and the governor in the state, actual administration is carried by the council of ministers headed by the prime minister at the union and chief ministers in the state. So what they are saying, if you see technically, the president at the Delhi government and the governor at the state government is higher in position. Okay, પ્રેસિડેન્ટની પોઝિશન ઇન્ડિયામાં હાઈ છે પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટરની પોઝિશનથી. ઓકે, અને ગવર્નરની પોઝિશન હાઈ છે ચીફ મિનિસ્ટરના પોઝિશનથી. બટ ઇન ટર્મ્સ ઓફ પાવર એન્ડ ઇન ટર્મ્સ ઓફ ટેકિંગ ડિસિઝન, પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર and the chief ministers have actual powers. President અને ગવર્નર તો ખાલી નામના છે. Okay, let me tell you very honest. Real decision makers, the real people who take the decision are the prime minister and the chief ministers. Have you ever seen the president of India talking? No, we always have prime minister of India, that is Narendra Modi, taking all the decision. While we give lot of respect, higher position is of the president and the governor, but actual powers are in the hand of the prime minister and the chief ministers. The Council of Ministers is responsible to legislature that comprises of representatives of people. So now what they are saying, Prime Minister has his own cabinet, which we did yesterday, right? They have the Prime Minister has his own cabinet, which are given different position. Like there is an agriculture minister, there is an educational minister, there is a women right ministers. So various positions are there, and these ministers, they help the prime minister. So what they are saying, that these council of ministers which are there along with the prime ministers, they represent people and they do lot of work. Okay, president selects 12 people who are expert and experienced from various fields for Rajya Sabha. Now in Rajya Sabha, the members of Rajya Sabha are selected. Who? The 12 people from Rajya Sabha are selected by the president. And they are experts in various fields. Let's say कि education માં હું બહુ મોટી એક્સપર્ટ છું અને મેં એજ્યુકેશન ફિલ્ડમાં બહુ સારું કામ કર્યું છે, તો પ્રેસિડેન્ટ મને કહેશે કે તમે પ્લીઝ આવીને રાજ્યસભામાં પાઠ લ્યો. ઓકે, સિમિલરલી વી હેડ હેમા માલિની and all those people also who are part of Rajya Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha is a permanent house in which 1/3 members retire every 2 years. So what they're saying, that Rajya Sabha is a permanent house in which 1/3 of its member retire after 2 years. Okay, so that is how the system is. It's a permanent house. Let's say कि Rajya Sabha માં 50 members છે. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so how retirement takes place. Actually 60 members no hoy, રાજ્યસભામાં ઘણા members hoy, but this is just for example. I am helping you, I am explaining you how it is. Let's say there are 50 members. Okay, so 1/3 of it will be what? No, let's not take 50. Let's take okay, let's say कि राज्यसभाમાં there are 12 members. Okay, let's say. Now let's say they are saying कि 1/3 members retire after a period of 3 years. So 1/3 is what? 3 1s are 3, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12. Okay, so 4. So let's say कि 12 માંથી 4 લોકો retire થઈ જશે. Okay, so that is how it is. Let's say there are 12 members and 1/3 member retire after every 3 years. So which is 4 members are going to retire from the Rajya Sabha. This is just an example. Actually members are more. Okay. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. 1/3 member retire after 2 years. The same number of members for the election. Thus, each member has a 6 years tenure in Rajya Sabha. So, what they're saying, each member has the time to be in Rajya Sabha for 6 years. After that, they retire and they can stand in elections also. The powers of Rajya Sabha is less compared to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has more power compared to Rajya Sabha, which is special and superior and decisive. So what they're saying, Lok Sabha is much more important. Lok Sabha is very special. They are superior. They take major decision. Rajya Sabha cannot be completely dissolved. Meaning completely you cannot remove Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha has to be there along with the Lok Sabha. Now, independent and impartial judiciary. Judiciary means law and order. Judiciary means courts, High Court, Supreme Court, and all these are called judiciary. Now, what they are saying, they are independent. No prime minister, no president, nobody can tell the court to take certain decisions. The court takes the decision on its own. अगर एनी सामे एवो केस છે કે પ્રેસિડેન્ટ એ કોકને ખૂન કરેલું છે, લેટ્સ સે, તો સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટ કે નોટ સે કે ઓકે બીકોઝ હી ઇઝ ધ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ ઓફ ઇન્ડિયા આઈ એમ નોટ ગોઈંગ ટુ ગિવ હિમ સેન્ટેન્સ, હું એને પનિશમેન્ટ નહીં આપું. નો, they have to stand, and if there are proofs, whoever is there, rich or poor, high in power, low in power, they have to be equal. Okay, impartial એટલે બધાને equally treat કરવા. The Constitution has provided the establishment of independent and impartial judiciary. We are independent. No government can rule over any courts. There is Supreme Court on top. South upper what court is there? Supreme Court. Then there is High Court, which is at the state. Every state has a High Court. Okay. In Gujarat, the High Court is in Gandhinagar. And under the jurisdiction, there are district courts at district level. So, district level, there are district courts. Taluka level, there are local and special courts. Okay. So, first is what? Supreme Court. Then you have High Court. Then you have district courts. And then you have local and special courts. The judgment of the Supreme Courts are binding to all subordinate courts of the nation. So, what they are saying, whatever judgment the Supreme Courts pass, every court has to follow that order. Okay, let's say कि હું કેસ હારી ગઈ હાઈ કોર્ટમાં અને હું સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટમાં અપીલ કરું. ઓકે, અને સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટ સર્ટન ડિસિઝન આપે તો હાઈ કોર્ટનું ડિસિઝન ન ગણાય, સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટનું ડિસિઝન ગણાય. ઓકે. In the case of conflict between union and state governments, matter relating to constitution and interpretation of state statutes, the final decision is vested upon Supreme Court. Let's say there is a fight between two state governments. Let's say there is a fight between central government and the state government. Or let's say there are matters related to constitution, or there are matters related to power. Then the decision lies in the hands of the Supreme Court. The final decision is on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the protector and the guardian of the Constitution. So who protects the Constitution? Who helps the Constitution? It's the Supreme Court.